Security, a top priority of the Tinubu administration as Nigeria's helmsman meets the security chiefs. Nigerians urge the new heads of security agencies to create lasting inter-agency synergy to tackle the hydra-headed monster of insecurity. Stakeholders speak on expectations in different sectors as Nigerians await the ministerial list. Also on political update today, INEC resident electoral commissioners in Abuja for a post-mortem of the 2023 general election and an outlook for the next set of elections beginning with the off-cycle governorship elections in November. Who gets a pass mark and who doesn't? We have this and more on our lineup. I'm Fisai Ogunfuyi. Welcome. After the decision by President Tinubu to replace the security chiefs last month, the new chiefs had their first briefing with the commander-in-chief on Monday. Since the provision of adequate security is the platform on which any key economic intervention can be made, the president took time to outline his expectations, and we have details of this and other engagements of the president.
It's the first meeting of the president with the security heads since their appointment. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, said the meeting was to thank the president for appointing them and assure the nation of ending all forms of security challenges.
We know what he wants for this country. We are going to work tirelessly to ensure that we accomplish that objective of securing our country, establishing peace, stability, and let's get our lives back. He gave us the assurance that he is with us 100%. He told us that we must work as a team and there is a work to be done. He will expect us to deliver, and we are grateful for the opportunity.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu has assured the business community of his government's commitment to policy consistency and better business climate to attract investment. The president was speaking when he received the delegation of the Shell Petroleum Development Company, led by the Global Upstream Director. President Tinubu welcomed the SPDC's offer for more investment in the oil and gas industry, assuring the Shell management and other investors of his administration's willingness to maintain an open-door policy towards addressing their concerns. The president also assured that his government was removing all forms of bottlenecks in order to ensure Nigeria becomes an attractive investment destination. The SPDC director, Ms. Zhu, applauded what she described as incredibly strong start of the Tinubu presidency and expressed optimism that the bold steps taken by the government will renew Nigeria's pride of place as an investment destination. She said Nigeria remains a strategic investment country for the company in view of the long history between the two entities and the prospects held by the country's oil and gas sector. The president also received in audience former Zamfara State Governor Ahmed Sani Yarima Bakura.
I think this is a very good beginning, and I'm sure all we need from Nigerians are prayers and patience. I'm sure by the grace of God, the president will be very successful.
From the State House, Abrahman Usman Jibrila.
The Senate President Godswill Akpabio says Nigerians should expect the positive impact of democratic governance through better legislation, which will be provided by the 10th Senate and, of course, the 10th Assembly. He made his comments during a courtesy call on APC's chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adam.
The proclamation by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, Senator Godswill Akpabio emerged as Senate President. Legislative business has barely commenced. However, there is a ray of hope as Senate President Godswill Akpabio assures Nigerians of better legislation in the Red Chamber for the socio-economic prosperity of the country.
The Nigerians should expect total support from the legislature. We believe strongly that we have a lot to offer from the National Assembly to make laws that will promote good governance, to bring about legislation that will attract foreign direct investment, to assist the current president, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to create employment opportunities for Nigerians. And anything we can do from the parliamentary point of view in terms of making the right laws, we will do so.
Every aspect of this country is a continuing process. We'll continue to do the much circumstances and time will permit us to do. And I'm sure the National Assembly is on the same page with us on that. We'll continue to take every conceivable step to build bridges, to create understanding, and where there is difficulty understanding, we explain as much as we can humanly do, and then hope for the best.
It is hoped his tenure will have synergy with both the executive and the judiciary for the good of Nigeria and Nigerians. From Kefi, Blessing Mfulani.
I still talk about the Senate just coming in today. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has announced the names of the majority and minority leaders of the 10th Senate. The majority leaders who emerged by consensus, Senator Kwame Bamdele as the Senate majority leader, Senator David Umahi, Deputy Majority Leader, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, Senate Chief Whip, and Senator Lola Shiru, Deputy Majority Whip. Before announcing the list of names of principal officers of the minority parties, the Senate went into a closed-door session. Upon resumption, the following senators were announced as the minority leadership. Senator Simon Wakdon as Senate Minority Leader, Senator Uyewu Miolaliri, Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Darlington Wakocha, Senate Minority Whip, and Senator Rufai Anga as Senate Deputy Minority Whip. Now, as local and international bodies continue to review the 2023 general election, some observers say entrenching good governance and strengthening the institutions are ways of ensuring best practices in key public sectors of public importance. Dr. Kasarachi Eyina, former vice presidential candidate of the Young Progressive Party, YPP, joins us today. Now, YPP is not in the courtroom. Are you back in the boardroom?
Yeah, Fusayo, thanks for being around again after a long holiday.
And the elections. And the
election. Thank you so much for being around again. We are not in court. I don't think it's necessary. After election, everybody must go to court. And we review what happened after the election, and we felt like there's no need pursuing things that are not necessary. And we're not in court.
Okay, so what is the outlook for the YPP, the Young Progressive Party? One would expect, of course, you will be one of the parties that will latch on this not too young to run. But before we go there, what are your interactions with both the opposition and the party in government in terms of how to move forward? Some are suggesting, some kind of accommodation for other parties to be a part of the building process.
We believe so much in democratic processes, and the leadership, the president, Ahmed Tinubu, is a true democrat who can bring people together. It's not just a winner takes all, and I believe he's working towards that. And you can see what we usually have maybe in the recent government, where service chief and everybody were in maybe particular region, and you can see the appointment from the Mr. President is carrying everybody along, and that's what is needed.
All right, let's we'll talk about a few things, but let's take some of the issues that we want to talk about today. But let me just let you take a few words, because we already talked about the not too young to run thing. You are of the younger generation. You were a vice presidential candidate in this process. In the just concluded presidential election. Beyond the 4-year cycle, where people come and stand on the podium, are you engaging the youths more in terms of participating in political processes? Beyond just being cannon fodder for election activities and election violence and all that, what other engagements are you having, so that it's not going to be another 4-year cycle? People start saying on the march again after the process has finished. Is there any way you are engaging people in your constituency?
Yeah, for me, I think I've been in my constituencies, maybe not only my constituencies, other places, to be able to encourage the youth to see how they can support the present government and work with them and prepare themselves, because nobody is going to give you the power. You must be part of the process. So it's not just you wake up tomorrow, you want to run election. You want to be part of people who go through the process. And the process starts after election, maybe is a cycle of maybe 2 years time, and people will start agitating for next election. But then we need to start to think about what can you do within your community, because you must be known from your community as to go to any election. So my own is to encourage the young people to get engaged in community and get involved in the electoral processes and things that are going on, and it's time to build a party. And being an opposition, it doesn't really mean that you have to be antagonistic and fighting the ruling party. You must have a way you become an advisor to the government, not to be like antagonistic or see everything in a present government do as a wrong thing. You must have a way you criticize valuable criticism to the government, and they will value it. They value it.
All right, let's quickly look at a few of the developing stories. Just today, INEC resident electoral commissioners are in Abuja for a post-mortem of the 2023 general election, and looking out for, of course, an outlook for the next set of elections, beginning with the off-cycle governorship elections in November. Now, who gets a pass mark and who doesn't?
In these debriefings with you, because you are central to the conduct of elections. Many of you performed very well during the general election under extremely challenging circumstances. I commend you for that. However, a few of you did not properly manage the tasks lawfully bestowed upon you, for which the Commission has taken some administrative action. And that's why some of you, the resident electoral commissioners, are not at this meeting today. I urge you to continue to remain loyal to your oath of office.
And still talking INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC has closed its case in the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar.
Petition, Atiku Abubakar and his party, the PDP, are the petitioners. Respondents are the Independent National Electoral Commission, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the All Progressives Congress. In support of his petition, Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, as petitioners, called 23 witnesses and tendered several documents. After this development, the petitioners closed their case. At the resumed hearing of the petition, INEC, as the first respondents, opened its defense as the umpire in the conduct of the presidential election in February 25, 2023. INEC, through its counsel, Abubakar Mahmood SAN, tendered the withdrawal letter of the Vice President Kashim Shettima, signifying his intention to withdraw from the contest of Borno Central Senatorial election. The letter was dated 6 July 2022. Mahmood SAN tendered additional 3 documents, including the cloud trail log, which explained the glitches INEC experienced during the conduct of the 2023 election. Counsel to the petitioners, Chris Uche SAN, opposed the admissibility of all the documents tendered. Counsel to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Wole Olanipekun SAN, and APC Counsel Lateef Fagbemi SAN did not oppose the admissibility of all the documents. The Presidential Election Petition Court admitted all the documents in evidence. After the admissibility of the documents by the court, INEC Counsel Abubakar Mahmood SAN called the respondent's witness. Lawrence Bayode, an ICT expert with INEC, adopted his witness statement on oath and urged the court to adopt it as his evidence in chief. During cross-examination by the counsel to President Tinubu, Wole Olanipekun SAN, and counsel to the APC, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, the witness told the court that the presidential election was free, fair, and credible. Bayode equally asserted that the introduction of electronic device in the conduct of the election brought integrity into it. Counsel to the petitioners during cross-examination, Chris Uche SAN tendered the European Union's observation mission report through the INEC witness. Bayode told the court that he was aware of the report but was not aware of the content. Counsel to all the respondents opposed the admissibility of the documents. Reasons for their objections will be adduced in their final written addresses. However, the Presidential Election Petition Court admitted the document in evidence. With the admissibility of the document, INEC as the first respondent closed its case. In the petition of Peter Obi and his party, INEC as the first respondent could not open its case due to the absence of its 3 witnesses. The matter was adjourned to Tuesday, 4th July 2023. In the petition of Atiku Abubakar, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to open his defense on 4th July 2023. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi.
Thank you, Dele, for that update. Of course, that is underway right now, about surrounding off right now there at the Presidential Election Petition Court. I'll be giving you updates from that, but we still have Dr. Enyina Kasarachi Enyina, former vice presidential candidate of the YPP Young Progressive Party. Now, a lot of people will always say after elections like this, we see people from the smaller parties join the bigger parties. Why are you staying the course?
Joining any? Most
of the time, you know, when elections are over, like you know, like we have seen now, most times we see a lot of the smaller parties, so to speak, there's no small party these days, but join the bigger parties, somehow collapsing structure, as some of you say. Are we seeing that in your own case, or you are staying the course?
We are still in course, like we are still in YPP. We don't have any plan to join any party. YPP is a growing party, and that need more useful people to support the ideology. So I don't think it's necessary to join any party. What YPP, the Young Progressive Party, need to do is to support the government in power. And my preach to every young people is to give the government a chance. And I believe in the leadership of Asuwaju. He will bring everybody to the table and make sure that the country transform more better the way he made it.
Okay, you were talking about being bold and audacious when, as a young man, you were picked as the vice presidential candidate of your party. Now that process, of course, has reached its, you know, conclusion. What will be your, you know, modus operandi moving forward in terms of engaging younger people like yourself to be part of this process, and perhaps even recruiting them more into your party, since after all you are the Young Progressive Party?
We'll be in engagement with the people, the young people in different areas. We have some programs we are coming forward with to engage the young people, and to also to, you know, there's a lot of things that happened this election, and the election just after the election, a lot of people are in the courts. For me, it's a distraction to the current government, and for us as a Young Progressive, we believe that the present government should run an inclusive government, not to, because if you're a father, you need to carry everybody along, whether they criticize you, they don't agree with you, you must be able to carry everybody along. And I believe the Tinubu administration will work towards unifying and bringing everybody together, and the young people, their awareness is there. You know, one of the occasions I said the young people will speak with through their votes, and you see in the last election, you see the young people, they came out to vote, and I believe this is democracy, and the majority was the winner. So the young people were truly involved, and they voted for the candidate they believe that is popular. So I don't have any issue about the going against the winner. I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, let's move on now. Having achieved the not too young to run bill, stakeholders in the youth development sector have also seen the need to further train those who got the people's mandate to serve in the 10th Assembly.
For us, the Convergence, honestly, is a platform for young legislators to learn from experts in the field on how best effectively deliver leadership. Second, is a platform for young elected representatives to learn on how to build power through this network. And third is a platform for young lawmakers to learn from the experiences of lawmakers who have served in Nigeria on how to easily and best navigate the politics in the National Assembly and State Assembly. Hence our theme, leadership, power, politics.
Okay, so the young people are trying to also get themselves engaged, especially for the young, legislators, both at the state level and at the federal level. A lot of people have said, they don't have so much experience, the huge turnover in the, especially House of Representatives. Not too many experienced people come. A lot of young people, like yourself, have gotten themselves into the House of Representatives. What are you expecting from them, especially at this initial stage?
I think every young person will always look for a mentor. There's people who are there and they'll be there for long. You should seek advice, and there's no place you can learn. You must learn from somewhere. And the opportunity to serve your people, and you are now in the House of Assembly or federal, either the state or the federal House of Rep, it gives you opportunity to meet other people who have been there before you, and learn and ask questions and how things legislative work are being done. I quite appreciate that a lot of young people, this is their first time. There's people who are not even prepared, and luckily for them, their party paved the way for them to be there. So they have to anchor with the old ones who have been there and learn from them how the legislative and how to make laws and policies and other things, and also engage in training, because being a legislator, you have to do a lot of research and other things, because you are going to be in oversight function to the executive. You need to do a lot of research to be able to know your functions and the things you need to do.
All right, let's end it, from another sector, that's talking about the traditional councils. Over the weekend, not over the weekend, over the holidays, the president visited some traditional rulers as well. But this one, some traditional rulers out of Kogi State still endorsing the president and urging him to do even more beyond what he has done so far in his first month.
Members of the Ibira Traditional Council paid homage to the Ohinoyi of Ibira land, Ado Ibrahim, to commemorate the successful celebration of the Eid-el-Kabir festival and discuss critical national issues. The Ohinoyi of Ibira land described President Tinubu as a true Democrat with a pedigree for good governance and encouraged Nigerians to support him.
And the governor is doing his best to make sure that the future will be better in his own time. And we pray for him too.
Every Nigerian should support him. The Ibira Traditional Council will support him to ensure that he delivers the goods of democracy to Nigeria.
Regarding the upcoming Kogi governorship election, the council emphasized the importance of peaceful conduct before, during, and after the process.
Kogi State is known as a peaceful state. Surely, the government will do everything possible so that our election will be free, fair, and credible.
Today, many thanks to Dr. Iyina Kasarachi of the YPP, vice presidential candidate, having his taste of the battle. Hopefully, you will return either in that capacity or in another capacity in the future elections. My name is Fisa Ogufi, thanking you for being a part of this shift. We'll be back again on Friday for a fresher package, urging you between now and then to continue to play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you unbeatable, fresh, and factual news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.